Well, hello, model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Ravel, and this week I want to go over the builds that I had completed this year for 2022, since it's New Year's and New Year's weekend, and you'll be watching this New Year's Eve, of course. Many of us reflect on the builds that we had, the challenges we had, and our accomplishments for the year. And here are my 11 builds that I completed in this calendar year. Some of these were started before that. They were all completed. Really enjoyed building these and sharing them with you and having them on the channel, and how much my channel has actually grown in the past year too is a big thank you, and I really appreciate all of that. I want to get that out there too before I forget and get too into the builds here. First one up here on the desk is the Johan 71 Olds 442. This is an annual kit that I had restored from a very nice original build kit. So I really didn't have to do any serious work to this. Just strip it, clean it up, and repaint it. It was just a pleasure to build, of course, and a lot of fun showing it to you guys on the channel there. But I didn't do any upgrades to it or anything. I just built it and kept it how Johan had issued it. The only exception there being the wheels and tires. They're resin base model. Picked those up and just dressed down just a little bit more, since it had the base hood and it was a base 442. So really enjoyed building this one, and I had to build this one, and it'd be interesting to see how this compares when it's done to the Olds 442 that Revel came out with that I had just picked up and I'm building currently. So it's one of the ones that I finished most recently. We'll put that off to the side here and move on to another one. This is Ravel's 70 Baldwin Motion Chevelle. This one is mostly out of the box. The only exception is I changed the wheels and tires from another Revel kit. So I'll build this one. And I had some decal issues and a few paint issues with this one, but nothing drastic. Just had to redo some work there and get another set of decals, and got that taken care of as far as fixing some of this. But really happy with the way this one came out. And it's kind of now a rare kit. It was issued just the one time, but just built it right out of the box, other than the wheel and tire swap. Some of these I tried to build right out of the box and ended up not. But this one came out awesome. And of course, there's a video on this one too, so you can go check that one out as well. Next, I'll go with this one. This is Miami Vice Ferrari Testarossa monogram kit. And it was a lot of fun building this one. I built it right out of the box. Didn't really change anything. Just painting all the black on the white, a little frustrating. But came out pretty cool and really happy with it. And I was really itching to build an early Ferrari, or not an early Ferrari, but an 80s Ferrari Testarossa, since I had built this when I was a kid, when this kit first came out, or when it was still fairly new. But I didn't paint it. This one was painted. I just did it in the molded white. But really enjoyed building this one. And so a little finicky in spots getting it together. But, nothing, shouldn't be too much of a challenge. But really enjoyed it. And the second Ferrari I built in a long time. I did do one last year. And plan to do a few more, getting a little more into the exotics and 80s car. This is the Ravel 67 Camaro SS396. Built this one straight out of the box. Didn't modify or change anything, but just really enjoyed it. I really wanted to do it in this color. I knocked the front plate loose, but try not to knock it completely off. But this is the one, if you followed it on my channel, I had a challenge with the paint. There's the engine and all the detail. This is a great kit. But this is the one where I had painted it, got the decals on it. It was looking really good, but the paint was soft. Put the clear on it. The paint was still soft and was having some issues. So I had to strip this one and start all over and locate another set of decals. So thanks to my viewers, that was something that did happen, and got another set of decals and was able to complete this. But this one I had to repaint at least once. But that's probably one of the reasons why I don't have as many builds as I would kind of like to, but still getting 11 done with some of the challenges I had. So that one was repainted. Here's one, talk about pride and joy. Really happy to have this one done. If you followed my build on this one has a long history with me. I've done a ton of work to this thing in many different stages. So having one finally completed and on my shelf is just a sheer pride on my part, because I love this build, I love this car, I love how it came out. And even though it's kind of fictitious, an Eleanor convertible, none were in the movie, of course, but there are some out there that were made. But this one, if you followed along the build process, I painted it bright yellow, painted a different color yellow, and there was just a couple of different yellows going on. I was trying to make it a little more brighter, and then the hood had a third yellow on it, and stripped it, and then ended up going with this atomic orange, which was kind of my second choice. But I love how it came out. Painted the stripes on and everything. Left a small block in it. Didn't really do anything crazy there. All the photo etch parts. So those of you that followed along on this or know, this is one that started as a resin copy of a Scale Motorsports Fastback that I had cut into a convertible. Mastered it as a convertible. Came out with all the extra parts. Started casting it. Sold a few. Greg Wan had picked up my master from me, and he sold a few resin copies. So between getting the body and all the work, converting it into a convertible, casting and mastering it, this is one of my early resin copies from my original master, which I still have in primer, and if you watch the video, you've seen it. And I'd finally, after 10 plus years or whatever, got back to getting this one built and getting it done and finished. So lots of money and effort and enthusiasm, I should say, really gone into this one. And she came out awesome, and I'm really excited that this one's done and just looking really good on my shelf and in my collection. Another one that I started but I didn't really do on the channel is this Porsche here. And it's the same thing. I started to reflect on kits I had when I was younger. I built one of these testers kits and enjoyed it, but really didn't last too well. Beat on it, trashed it, turned it into a junkyard with some of the other Porsches I built back then. So, and it was gold. So this one, I decided to do champagne gold and built this one. And it was basically a cheap kit with bad decals. I talk a lot about that. And I had a second kit, so then I built the motor and display it separately. So that's the story on that one. And it was just another one of me reflecting on kits I built way back then. Another one, this is one I started last year, and it was basically because I kind of build in batches. I built that black 58 Corvette and enjoyed that. Well, this is the 60 Corvette that I built from the Ravel 59 kit, which really all I had to do to change it from a 59 to 60 is change the seat pattern that's in there. So I redid the seat, and then I added sun visors to it and made sure I picked this 60 color and did the hard top. So this one came out really nice, but I was building it off on the side, so I didn't really do a whole lot of filming of this particular one, but it was coming out so nice that I made sure to show it to you guys and film it. And I just knocked the mirror off, but that's white glue. It'll go right back on. And there's the trunk, and then the underside of this one. And, just converted this one into a 60. See if this will go right back on. So easy to knock that kind of stuff off. But this one, though, I had paint problems as well, and ended up stripping it, messed up the paint job a second time. So this one actually got 3 paint jobs, and this was a second body that I pulled out of my stash and prepped and painted it because I was kind of in a hurry and didn't want to strip again, a second one. So I ended up, this one got 3 paint jobs, this one got 2 paint jobs. The Eleanor got 3 paint jobs. So those ones had been repainted multiple times and made some of my challenge here. Another one I pulled out of the stash that had been sitting a while is this one. And same thing, just was going over Mustangs, and I had modified the front valance on this to make the 25th anniversary GT350. And I had a lot of these parts and stuff. This one's sitting for a very long time, and I really wanted to build this one, and I started to get excited about Mustang convertibles and reading about Fox bodies and stuff. So decided I was going to build this one, and I picked up a couple of some of the other kits too. And here's the soft top, so I can put the soft top on it. I like to have both tops, although I really like to display them with the top down. But enjoyed building this one, and came out great. A few mods to it, put in the mesh for the headrest so you could see through them, and modified the front for the fog lights to make it much more accurate. But other than that, not a whole lot done to this one. Just started with another one that I had restored as a built-up. So this one started up as a fairly decent price build-up, and I had to redo it. But she came out awesome. Another one of my big challenges here, and this one was one that I was very passionate about, really loved the car, and I loved the movie. This is the Dodge Turbo Interceptor from the movie The Wraith. This is the M4S Turbo Interceptor, they call it. But this is a 3D printed resin kit, and it's just a chunk of resin. And this thing, if you follow this build, there was a lot of body work, ton of body work, and getting this thing together. So lots of effort and sanding. Could have easily done 3 or 4 bodies with the amount of work I put into this one. But I'm really happy with the way it came out. Looks awesome on my shelf, and would love a full detail kit of it, but don't know of one. If one does come out, I'll eventually jump on it. But get one of the other ones here. This, of course, is Mobius's 65 Plymouth Satellite altered wheelbase car, and built this one right out of the box. And I didn't even intend to start building it when I did. I was just checking it out, comparing it to the other kits. Really liked the second box art car with all the turbine bronze color that was on it. And I liked that one, but I really wanted to do this version as well. So I picked up 2 of these kits. So I can build the early mule car, which is what this one is, with the regular cross ram Hemi, and just had a good time building it. And this thing went together with really no issues. And it was a pleasure to build. And matter of fact, I started playing with this second one. So even though I wasn't really planning on building it, I really enjoyed building it, and it came out awesome. And so I just showed it on the channel and built it, and was really happy with the results of this. And I got a bunch of these Mobius kits, but this is, I believe, the first one I actually finished. I played with others, but never really sat down and started and built one. And I don't do a whole lot of race cars too, so that's kind of the fun part with this one, is something like this, plus the story behind it being a factory-backed, prepped race car, altered wheelbase. Really interesting history and story, so that really got me sucked into building it as well. Last one is this baby right here. And I don't really get into tuners or European cars or Japanese cars like this one. Love the exotics. But, you know, I've seen the Fast and Furious, and a version of this car on screen really got my attention. And I thought it was just flat out cool. And then being all-wheel drive, 500 horsepower monster that this particular one is. This is a Nissan GTR Z-Tune R34. And this is pretty much right out of the box from Tamiya. I'll throw the box art up anyway. But got the photo etch kit to upgrade on it. Got the Midnight Purple 3 paint on there, which I love this paint. It's a flip-flop. It's really hard to film to get it to, you can see it. But, and that's from Splash Paints. And this is another one that I painted, cleared, or was getting ready to clear. Got the decals all on it and the metal transfers. Messed them up. Stripped the whole thing. Bought more paint. Repainted this one. And talked to them and got another set of decals and the metal transfer emblems. And got them in there. And then modifications to the kit. I had cut the seatbelt slot holes in the seats and did that to it. And I also got the windows. I cut these windows out because it has glass all the way around. You can't see in the interior. Well, you can, but I kind of like the windows down. So I cut the windows out, and so I can see more of the interior. You can kind of see some of the flip-flop paint in this when I turn it around. But this thing, just an interesting car with a lot of interesting history, and a very rare car. Only 20 made. One originally in purple. Now there's 2 of them in purple. 2 or 3, I believe 2. Just an awesome car, and very interesting for me to research and get into, and just love the way this one came out. So that kind of completes my collection. It's kind of out there, but as far as Asian or Japanese cars, this is probably the closest thing to what would fall under a muscle car as far as how we look at muscle cars versus them, being all-wheel drive and a 500 horsepower beast. A lot of them are rated at 250, but that was kind of a gentleman's agreement where, the Japanese manufacturers all said they were 250 horsepower. But when they decided to make the limited run of these, they didn't hold anything back. They flat out said it's 500 horse. Really not much to these. Tamiya kits here, and there's really not a motor in there, but there is some detail in there. You can't open the hood, but I decided to paint the whole underside the Midnight Purple 3 also. Got the metal exhaust tip, which is part of the upgrade kit, and the taillights and just all the stuff on this. This was a real pleasure to build, and I really like how this one came out. And she's a beautiful car, and it's just something completely different and out of my normal interest. But the story and the history, the more I read about the cars, the more I really got into building that one. But that's, kind of how I work and just how I get excited about some of this stuff, which, I bring you all the history and all the info on the cars or share in my builds. And some of my videos get kind of long because of that. But, that's pretty much shows up everything that I've finished this year. So some of these are stashed off to the side here and you can't see them. Get them all in view here, and that way you can kind of see them all. Get them in there in a group shot. But yeah, there they all are. So really enjoyed it and looking forward to 2023 and getting some more built and showing you guys more stuff on the channel. And really appreciate all the subscriptions and comments and everything and all the likes and shares and how this channel has really been growing. And I think that's just awesome, and just loving it and just having some fun here. And I hope you guys are enjoying all these videos as well. So thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and all of that. You guys, you have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful New Year's. And I'll see you next Saturday.